Okay, here's a good one for you. Greg Hollenback here, and we are hanging out in Moffat, Colorado. This is the 6th annual Colorado road trip for the modern eater, and I couldn't be happier to introduce these two to you. Here, we'll start out with Jerry Berry. What's going on, Jerry?
Just enjoying life.
And his daughter, Nicole Berry. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, we're going to talk a lot of stuff right now, but I want to start with Greener Pastures Meats. Thank you so much for sponsoring this great content. If you want to check out Greener Pastures Meats, just check out greenerpasturesmeats.com. They're a great processor in Canyon City, Colorado, and it is hunting season. You need your animals processed. Greener Pastures Meats, a great place to start, and also your livestock. It's a USDA inspected facility, and it's perfect for all of your needs. Colorado livestock goes to Greener Pastures Meats. All right, you guys, Kiana Creek Farms.
Yes, sir.
Right. Let's start there. First of all, could we just get a little overview of you, Jerry? Talk about yourself for 30 seconds.
Oh, you get 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you do?
I manage these properties for Kiana Creek Farms. We run an organic operation. I've been running these properties organic for almost 20 years. Kiana Creek Farms is the newest owner, about 4 years now, and they're fully vested into the program and into the beef, and we use coal in them quite a bit for a lot of our beef for Greener Pastures down there. So yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Well, there's a lot more to you than that. We'll start there. You had a second to think. Nicole, how about you? 30 seconds on Nicole.
Well, I was born and raised on and off this property. I've been in ag my entire life, and I get to work beside my dad every day and work with my fellow coworkers. And I mean, you saw us earlier today. We were out there stacking bales, and that's just kind of our life.
Yeah, every single day. You know what? We have some great stories. Let's start with your story of how did you start building your herd of cattle?
Well, when I was about 13 or 14, I decided that I was going to buy a car. And so Dad and I looked at the auction and found this old cop car, and we bought it. And then a few summers later, I was like, well, this car's not making me any money, and I can't legally drive yet. So I traded that car for 6 pairs of cows and calves, and I started my herd, and now I'm up to about 30 head.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense, and that car wasn't doing anything for you, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's such a great story. And how old are you now?
I'm 19.
You're 19. So let's just start here. Agriculture. It's getting tougher and tougher to even want to be in the business.
Yep.
And the youth of agriculture coming up in it. And let's not even talk about a woman in agriculture, but you are just breaking ceilings right now. And that's fantastic. What's it mean to you to just be involved in agriculture and kind of kick that rock down the road to where someone else you're going to be a mentor for?
I love it because I grew up watching people in my life being strong and independent in the ag world, and that goes for my dad and my grandma. And I mean, to be able to blaze my own path is amazing because it is getting harder day by day, and it's not easy, but you just got to grit it out.
Yeah, what keeps you gritting it out? What keeps you going?
The love for it.
Yeah.
Just doing it every day.
So if you were to give a message to anybody out there, maybe youth in agriculture or just coming up to the ranks or saying, how do I hold on? What would that message be? What would you say to them? Find
your mentors and learn and make mistakes, because that's how you're going to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And just grit it out. If you don't have grit, you're not going to make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got to grit it out.
Now, come on. That makes you proud, right?
Definitely a proud dad moment, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And so we talk about, kind of you growing up in ag. Things have changed a lot.
Oh, huge. When I was a kid, you could buy a tractor for $2,500. When I was her age, now that same tractor is $250,000. But ground then, it was $50 an acre. In this area, it was $50 an acre when I was her age, and now you're looking at $2,000 an acre.
Mm-hmm.
And all your commodity prices aren't much different than they were then, but it just costs a lot more to produce them.
What are you seeing? I mean, with your kind of worldly look at agriculture and kind of seeing technologies change and seeing people change and just all the changes that are happening in agriculture, what's the good that you're seeing?
There's a lot of good. It's kind of a double-edged sword. It's good and bad. The technology allows me to eliminate one position, like on my irrigators, on my sprinklers. I can run them, most of them from my phone, and I get notices if there's something wrong with them or something like that. Instead of having somebody run around constantly, checking the sprinklers, I can do that. But on the same token, that eliminates a person that's not here. And our biggest problem is finding people that actually want to be in the ag business. I mean, this was Labor Day weekend. We have no weekends. The cows, they get fed every day. I mean, now they're out on their own, but we had to put up hay yesterday. We used baling hay yesterday. It doesn't matter when the crops are ready, they get put up. The only thing is on a Labor Day weekend or something like that, we can't get parts, but in the ag industry, you may have weekends. It's not if you get into ag for the money, you're not going to make it. I mean, some guys can, but it's a lifestyle. It's not as much of a profession as it is a lifestyle.
It's a passion and a choice.
It's a passion.
I mean, look at me. I'm sitting in the middle of a pasture as an old broadcaster. I have a passion for this.
Yeah.
But I love it. And so it keeps me going. And you've had that in there, and it's great to see Nicole kind of has, or doesn't kind of have, you have that same passion, which is what's going to take moving forward with agriculture. So real good and real bad. There's no roadmap, though, with agriculture.
No.
Nothing's predictable, right? I mean, expect the unexpected.
Yeah. You're either one disaster away from losing everything or one good year from making it. It's just, and every year's that way. And, I think it was 8-10 years ago, we had, a complete winter kill on our alfalfa. It took us 5 years just to recoup from that, and just to, it set us back 5 years completely. And that's, a lot of guys didn't make it. They can't, they couldn't stay afloat for those 5 years or whatever it takes to recoup.
Yeah.
And they're out, they're gone, and you see that. You see the bigger guys getting bigger and the little guys just going away. I don't know how the younger people could even get started if you don't have a mentor. And that's the one thing I've always mentioned to Nicole is try to be a mentor. It's not just me, it's everyone around. It's our neighbors. It's you can learn something from everybody. It may not always be good, but you'll learn something.
Yeah.
And those experiences is what makes it happen. And especially in the ag industry, as much as you can diversify what you're doing, so if you do have a loss, it's not so drastic.
Yeah, you talk about the lack of people. What's going to change that? What do you see, Jerry? You're not optimistic about that. You're seeing just work harder, do more, wear more hats.
We've done that. We went from a 15-man crew, we're down to 5. And we cut our operation in half last year. And if it wasn't for Nicole wanting to keep up, I don't know if I could do it anymore. Because where do you find people? I mean, you can find some people that want paychecks, but they want an 8-to-5 job. 4:30, they're looking at their watch. They're wanting to go home. Well, job's not done. You're here till the job's done. I mean, and that's the ag world. I mean, I don't know how many times that in the past we'd be getting ready to dress up to go out to dinner, and we end up having to pull a calf, or we're out in the middle of the pasture, and your plans for that night change instantly.
It's not,
or you're in the middle of going down to the vet clinic, hauling a cow to the vet or a horse to the vet that's got colic.
Yeah.
It's not like you can wait for that email tomorrow.
Right.
No.
And address it.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
It's nut cutting time at the ranch. I mean, listen, here's the thing. Look into the crystal ball, you guys. And first of all, tell me the path that ag's on, and then the crystal ball, look into that crystal ball and say, here's where we're gonna be when Nicole is 39.
Wow.
Have you done? I mean, you can't do that, right? I mean, you day by day, month by month, year by year. You can anticipate. You try to do things to build for the future. You try to be smart about your investments, your equipment. And that's the biggest thing nowadays is equipment. It's not just your equipment, it's your breakdowns. You can't take anything to shop unless $100 an hour. That's just the shop rate. That's not including parts. And if they can even find parts, COVID hit us hard on parts. It wasn't the fact that, our industry didn't stop, we had equipment sitting for up to 9 months because we couldn't get parts for it.
So, you know, a lot of guys, luckily we're large enough, we're right in the middle. We're not the little guy, we're not the big guy. We're kind of right there in the middle to where, you know, it's luckily we're diversified just enough that we were able to float it. But boy, it's been tough. But
what do you see when you're 39?
It's hard.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, because I watch the world change every day, and there's no tomorrow is promised. And I hope and pray that my kids will get to see what I enjoy, and that my grandkids will get to see. Because, I mean, you look back when I was little, it's still changed so much since then. And it changes more and more every day. And so I just hope that there's enough people like us to keep areas like this related.
Absolutely. And when you talk about people like you guys, well, let me tell you about people like these guys, because Kiana Creek Farms it's so multifaceted. There's so many other things that you got, and I just listen in awe. But let's talk about the farm. So give us an overview of Kiana Creek Farms.
Kiana Creek Farms, we have 24 center pivots, 14 or 15 of them can run off the creek, off the surface water rights. We have a reservoir that feeds them, and then we have 9 wells that supply the other 9 pivots with water. We don't farm them all at the same time. We rotate them through, and that's the main farm. And then we have these other acreages for grazing for our cows. And I think we have, I don't remember, but we got quite a few that we run here now. We're running about 200 head of cows right now, and for Kiana, and then Nicole and I have our own herd.
Yeah. So it's like the double banger.
Yeah.
Doing double duties.
Yep.
And one feeds into the next. The organic portion of that you guys are certified organic, which, you know, I mean, you just do organic practices no matter what, right?
Yes.
But you have that in your back pocket. It's pretty cool. And you've got some new projects that are coming up in the future here.
Yep.
Right? What's your take on what the farm's doing?
I think we're getting really busy. We took a step down a few years ago. Like Dad said, we started off with a 15-man crew, and so we planted all of our circles. I mean, I think it was 52 circles that we planted. And then by the time harvest came, we were down to a 5-man crew. We ended up putting up 26,000 bales with a 5-man crew. And all of us were wore out and tired, and there was a lot of us that were ready to quit. And we were pretty mad at Dad too, but it just
keep on keeping on. Yeah, but you're tore up from the floor up from all that.
Oh yeah.
That works. I mean, listen, what did I witness today? I went around and got some B-roll for this video, but you guys were hard at work.
Yeah.
I mean, you were doing it.
Yep.
What were you doing today?
I was stacking hay. So my job, when it comes time for harvest, is I kind of bounce between equipment just because I'm a lot like my dad and I'm versatile, and but raking, baling, and stacking hay, those are my main 3. And so today I was stacking hay, and we have Alicia in the stack yard who I'll send trucks to, and I'll be out in the field running around picking up bales and loading the trucks and sending them back out to her.
When do you have time for the cows?
Well, as of right now, they're out to summer for grazing. Yeah. But once they start calving here, I think we're going to start calving in March.
Yeah.
Then we'll spend most of our time focused on them. And so it kind of flip-flops. We're not really like more busy one time of the year because it's just a different kind of busy. So we go from farming to hunting to ranching. And so we just bounce between the 3.
I know you're not getting this kind of content anywhere. Cruising around Colorado, checking out agriculture. That's the passion, themoderneater.com. You can see tons of it. Just go in the search bar. You'll be able to find this great video on themoderneater.com. And just appreciate you guys' time. But here's where we get into some really cool stuff. Rocky Mountain Youth Project. Where do you even begin with this? This is so cool.
Well, the Rocky Mountain Youth Project is it's near and dear to my heart. When I was 10 years old, I was being raised by a single mom. She worked the ag industry. She was a vet tech. And then until we moved over here in the valley here when I was in 5th grade, and she was the livestock manager on the same ranch that I'm operating now, that I manage now. And I always swore that if I ever got the opportunity, I'd give back to the youth that I never had an opportunity to. And I never forgot that. And about 15, 20 years ago, I started doing youth hunts and disabled veteran hunts and stuff like that without a nonprofit, just doing it. And then some friends of mine talked me into go ahead and getting my 501c3 and promoting it more. And it maintained, we did some and stuff like that, but until Nicole stepped up and really helped me with it, she's been instrumental in helping me do it, because I mean, running this kind of an operation, I don't have a lot of time to invest into it, and Nicole's just really helped me to
bring it into the 21st century.
Definitely, because I'm not a Facebook guy, I'm not an Instagram guy. I mean,
and well, word of mouth is, I mean, this is just screaming around.
Yeah.
I mean, people are catching on to the generosity, and you don't even see it generosity. This is like obligation, and you have the infrastructure to do it. But what, I mean, so give me and Nicole, I'll hit you with this one. Give me an idea of what that looks like. All right, here's the foundation. The project's there. It's for youth. What do they actually do? And give me like a day in the life of experiencing it.
Well, it starts out with welcoming whatever person is coming out hunting. Typically we'll meet them either in Salida, or they'll meet us here and we'll get them a voucher. We'll get them settled in the house that you're staying at currently.
Mm-hmm. The Chelsea.
Yes.
The Chelsea.
And then once they're settled, we kind of go out and we scout. I'm working on getting some of our videos uploaded a little bit more, and we've got a few TV shows out with the High Road. So you can check it out a little bit more there. But typically we go out and
go to the range.
We go to the range and help them get comfortable with the gun, and then we take them hunting and we go scouting, and we just work with them the best we can to get them their elk.
And why is it so important to these kids?
Because they're not given the opportunity.
Yeah.
Either they're unable to do it by themselves. We take a lot of disadvantaged youth that have leukemia or some diagnosis that they may not live to see tomorrow, and so we
terminal illnesses.
Yes.
And here's a chance. I mean, come on out here. Let us just be a part of your life and connect and experience, right?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And get away from the real world. You know, get away. We're totally, when you come out here, it's device free. You know, you're not on your phone, you're not sitting there on your computer or anything like that. You're out here enjoying this. I mean, look at the mountains, look at the views here. And you get to experience the elk bugling and the coyotes and just everything. I mean, last year we got to experience, went out before daylight and we're standing there, we get set up and we get to watch 500 head of elk for 30 minutes walk to us, bugling and screaming and calling, and it's that experience, just being out and just being alive.
And it's a gimme.
Yeah.
You don't charge for this.
No, there is no fee,
fantastic.
no charge.
rmyp.org. We'll put it at the bottom there. I mean, so worthwhile, and I want everybody to just kind of scream that from the rooftops far and wide. I mean, people are probably coming from all over the place.
Everywhere, yeah.
And now you were mentioning last night to us that there's an occasion where, you know, kids here with their parents, and kids kind of, you know, the parents are all about it. Kids kind of go from there.
Well, that's the big thing, is like, I feel like kids typically have the ambition for what their parents do, but sometimes they can get overshadowed by their parents because their parents are so excited and they want them to have everything, but the kids are getting like, well, you're pushing it so much that I don't really want it anymore. And so we'll get out there and Dad and I will kind of get this handle of the situation, like we've got a good parent or we've got an overbearing parent. And so when we get parents that are a little on edge and stuff, we'll kind of team up, and Dad will take the youth out, and I'll kind of say, hey, we're gonna go watch them from here. And so then Dad will get out there, and they'll the kids will kind of be like, well, I don't really want to do this, and Dad's like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And he's like, no, like nobody's forcing you to. And they're like, well, what about my parents? And we're like, they can talk to us.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And then they're like, oh, well, I guess I do kind of want to do it. I just didn't want to be forced to do it.
Right.
And it's like, no, you're not forced to do nothing. If you want to just sit out here and look at the elk, we can. Like,
Sure.
You don't have to hunt. You don't have to shoot.
That's really, really cool, because it's not cookie cutter. You don't come in and say, all right, everybody line up and here we go. It's like you're vibing with them.
Yeah.
You're checking things. You're feeling out the interests and who they are. I mean, heck, they're staying with you.
Yeah.
You have the opportunity to.
It's funny is a lot of these people over the years that come in as strangers that we don't know, they leave as family.
Yeah.
I mean, plain and simple. We are in contact with them continuously. I mean, you become family. You spend time out here like we do with them, and you become an extended family out here because you experience something that only a property like this and the owners of Kiana Creek Farms gives us this opportunity. You know, they give us this opportunity to be able to do this with the youth. You know, we have brandings and we bring out a lot of youth for the brandings and stuff like that, and we've got a summer program that Nicole's looking at kicking off, that, you know, so you can come out and be part of the ranching thing. You don't have to be a hunter. You can come out and be part of the cows, working the cows, and you know,
Find your group.
just find your groove. Yeah.
It gave me the bumps, the goosebumps there, because I don't know what they'd say, but I kind of feel like a part of the family. Spent a couple of days with you guys. We've had 2 meals together already. Got to learn a lot about you guys. Put me up in the Chelsea, and I mean, the hospitality is amazing, but
Good deal.
kind of just, that's who you guys are,
Yes.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
So there's so much. I encourage you, look at their socials. We're going to post their socials at the bottom here. Learn all that you can about them. Get to know, connect, reach out. I mean, these are the type of people that want to connect with you, that want to talk about agriculture, that want to talk about youth programs. Probably goes beyond that into 4-H, and it just goes on down. It just keeps rolling, right? Again, Greener Pastures Meats in Canyon City, Colorado. And you know what? If there's anything, keep connected with Colorado agriculture. It's a great thing to be doing right now. Agriculture needs people to recognize your food is not born on the shelf, people. It's born from these great producers. Can't thank you enough, Jerry.
Thank you, sir.
Yep,
Appreciate
absolutely.
it.
And Nicole?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kick the rock on down the road. The modern eater continues.